Hello my friends, my name is Daniel. This is the Crosslink channel and this is a special video. I want to thank you for subscribing to the channel. I want to thank you for watching my videos. I'm really humbled by the amount of feedback that I get, by the amount of participation I see, the ideas that you bring, and also I was not expecting that this could happen in such a short time. And I was really thinking, okay, maybe in Christmas 2019 I could probably reach 1,000 subscribers. And not that this is some number that it's really so important, but it's still, 1,000 is something that we probably should celebrate somehow and think about, okay, it's cool. That's really cool, that's humbling. And from my end, I want to thank you again. And I hope that you stay on the channel and that you push me forward to bringing new content to you. I'm really ready for this year. Definitely bringing you hopefully the best content that you can expect about 3D printing, about modifications for the printers that you love. And I definitely have some interesting things to come. As I said in the last video, there's going to come a exciting, I'm really excited about the printer modification of the year for this printer. A little hint, it's not an AM8, but it's something actually that I think it's actually better than the AM8. So stay tuned for that. It's gonna be an exciting thing. I'm thinking about how to do it. So if you want to see this in a live stream, then tell me. I never did a live stream on the channel, but if you think that could be interesting to do that on a live stream and then make, let's say, our conclusion video after that, do put it in the comment section, tell me what you think about it. And also, I still have a lot of other things that I want to do to the A8 and A8, and then probably over the course of the year, I also want to cover comparing it with the Ender 3, doing something to the Ender 3. So basically the first thing I want to really do is do comparisons in certain areas. And for sure, the A8 A8 is not going away, it's not going anywhere, but there is probably coming a new version this year. I don't know when this is going to happen, but certainly you will know that A8 has already published a video about a new version, but it's nowhere available at the moment. On the other hand, they have the A8 A8 Plus, but I think that's a completely different printer. That's made in a metal frame, and there is a new mainboard and all this stuff. Certainly, but the new A8 A8 should be in the same price range. That's my expectation than the original one, with some improvements, and I want to check that out, of course, as soon as possible. On the Ender 3 side of things, I think the community there is growing rapidly. It's a very popular printer already, and I can see why the people are flocking over to that. It doesn't give you the same experience than the A8 A8. I think the target audience is even a little bit different, because this printer here is really something that you need to build from scratch, and the Ender 3 is something that is probably much easier to build and gives you better results right from the start, for sure. But the question is always, who wants that? Is it that tinker friendly? Is there so many modifications? I don't think actually that the Ender 3 is a printer that you want to modify so heavily. You don't have to. And for the price that you pay for the Ender 3, of course, it's probably one of the best printers in terms of readiness right from the start. But the A8 A8 has such a big community because you can modify it so differently, and you can make it your individual printer, and I think that's something that's not going away. But every printer has its place, of course, and so don't be afraid that I'm not going to make any A8 A8 videos anymore. For sure, there's so many other aspects that we didn't cover yet. It's going to happen over the time, so trust me and stay tuned for that. So I'm just preparing another video about belt tensioning. That's what I can say. That's going to be the next, and we have other modifications coming. So there is the Bowden extruder, which is also something I'm looking into, and then we have several other types of sensors still uncovered. And I see that a lot of you people are struggling still with the Marlin firmware flashing. It has changed over the time, because new mainboards are currently shipping. I have an older one which works, and the newer ones seems to have severe problems, and that's why I ordered a new mainboard, and I expect that this new mainboard is actually the mainboard that's going to be on the printer version 2019, so we have something more up to date to test, to find out if the modern firmware can be flashed and how it can be flashed. If you want to flash the modern firmware and you have any issues using the USB cable, that's most probably because ANET changed the way how they prepare the printer mainboard. So on most of the boards and probably on the newer versions, they don't have a bootloader anymore. That means you won't be able to flash firmware using the USB cable, and you will need to do it with an Arduino or any other programmer device. And that's much more complicated because you need drivers if you want to do it on Windows, and all these different programmers work in a little bit of a different way. I need to test several things out, if they really work and how they work and what are the pitfalls. So it's a little bit complicated, it takes more time than I expected, and I really want to make sure that when I publish the video here, that you really can follow the instructions step by step and you don't fall into like the same problem over and over again. One thing is Octoprint. I think that's something that is really helpful for people who want to print remotely and who want to have a webcam and doing some time lapses. So there is lots of things that you can do with Octoprint. So many plugins and so many exciting things that you can control. For example, you can switch off the printer, you can have certain light effects on the printer, for example, different colors when something's happening, so green, red, whatever the status might be. If you have a smoke detector and that goes into the alert status that it shuts down the printer, that is something that you can do. So all these different things. So on top of that, there is also a few things that I want to discover, like how to modify STL files, how to actually build new objects, taking something that exists on Thingiverse, modifying that to a certain extent and then slicing it again. I mean, let's find out. And I think that's it's gonna be an interesting year. I think there's too much content even until the end of the year, so I need to prioritize a little bit. I'm also thinking about how to do that. So if you we can think about some sort of a content upvoting system. And one thing that I really want to start in the next week is I'm gonna publish a Discord server URL. So I was thinking about for a really long time, so how can we make the community communication better? So how can we talk to each other, asking questions, and then getting people interacting with each other? How can we post outside of YouTube? Because YouTube is like, if you post something in a video content or in the comment section, that's one way to do it, and it makes sense if you have something like directly you want to say about the video or you want to ask about the video. But if you want to do an ongoing conversation and asking questions back and forth and then like posting, it really ends at the moment where you want to, for example, post a picture, or if you want to post a file, it gets complicated and we have to use something else. So let's try it out. I'm gonna post the Discord server URL on top of my channel community. So go to the channel community section and look for the post there. I'm also going to include it in all of the video descriptions, so you can find it there. I still want to encourage you to post stuff into the comment section if it's like right about this specific video, if you want to like ask something, and then we can still decide whether we want to continue outside of this. So that's it for today, I guess. I hope I have given you an overview of what you can expect. So see you in the next video. Bye bye and have a good week.